Hello class, I'm working out of your Algebra 1 book, 1.8, Order of Operations. To remember the order of operations, you can remember PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. P is for parentheses, E exponents, M multiplication, D division, A addition, and S subtraction. Also, you can remember GEMS. And in the groupings, there's more than parentheses that we will work with. We will also work with absolute value, brackets, and set notation. And then exponents, multiplication and division, subtraction and addition. To get started, if you're asked to solve an expression such as 2 plus 3 squared minus 4 divided by 2 times 3, then we will address that there are no groupings, but we do have an exponent to work. 3 squared is 3 times 3, and that equals 9. Do be in a good habit of rewriting your expression around the part that you solved. That is the proper way to go through order of operations, show your thinking and your work along the way. Also, they get harder than just to mental math, and you need to be able to see the expression right down to the last line. So if you're properly working these, you are rewriting your expression every time. All right, we have operations of addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication in this expression. Multiplication and division come before addition and subtraction, so address those first, and then address them in the order left to right as they are presented. So that means we have 4 divided by 2 first. That's going to rename as a 2. Write your expression around what you renamed. Now we have just multiplication. 2 times 3 is 6. Rewrite your expression around what we renamed. Okay, 2 plus, there it is, 2 plus 9 is 11. Minus 6, and your final answer is 5. Neatly circle or box your final answer after you work your expression. All right, another example, 2 to the third power minus 1 to the second power plus 5 times 4 minus 3 squared plus 9 divided by 3. Okay, let's go through. There are no groupings, but there are exponents. We're going to rename these exponents. 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2. That equals 8. 1 squared is 1 times 1. That equals 1. 3 squared is 3 times 3. That equals 9. Write your expression and operations down around what you solved so far. Exactly as it was given in the original problem. You're going to have to be detailed here. Okay, we have multiplication with a product dot and division. We need to solve those parts of this expression. 5 times 4 is 20. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And we'll still rewrite 8 minus 1 plus minus 9 plus around what we addressed. So we're just dropping everything we have not addressed yet straight down. You see that with the arrows. Okay, so next We have all subtraction and addition. We're going to work left to right. So we have 8 minus 1. That's 7 plus 20 minus 9 plus 3. 7 plus 20. That's 27 minus 9 plus 3. Okay, so then 27 minus 9, well, that's 18 plus 3. All of that equals 21 for our final solution. If you are asked to evaluate a problem like 2 plus 3 parentheses 5 plus 7 in parentheses all divided by 2, work your parentheses first. 5 plus 7 is 12. 2 plus 3 times that 12 all divided by 2 comes down around the part you worked. Okay, we have a 3 times 12 in the middle. When two numbers are sitting together, that's a presentation of multiplication, so 3 times 12 is 36. We have a 2 plus in the front and a divided by 2 in the back. We still have division to work, so we're going to work that first. That's 36 divided by 2 is 18. Drop down your 2 plus. Now we have 2 plus 18 is 20 for your final solution. Another example. We have something like 2 times parentheses negative 3 plus 7 in parentheses minus parentheses 7 minus 5 in parentheses all divided by 5 minus 3 times parentheses 1 minus 4 in parentheses. We're going to start with the order of operations, parentheses first, groupings first. And we have 3 sets of groupings here to address, so we'll address all those. Okay, negative 3 plus 7, renaming it is a 4 in the numerator, and 7 minus 5, renaming it, that's a 2 in the numerator. I'm going to carefully drop down my 2 and my minus sign around what I renamed in the numerator. That's my new expression on top. Okay, so now we have 1 minus 4 in parentheses here. That's a negative 3. I'm going to carefully drop down 5 minus 3 in the front of that, just as it was in the original problem. Okay, all this is going to equal 2 times 4 is 8 minus 2 in the numerator. Okay, we have multiplication here. Leave this alone. We're just taking 3 times negative 3 here. 3 times negative 3 is going to be a negative 9. Now drop down your 5 minus in front of that. Check that out. Okay, to solve this, we're going to say 8 minus 2 is 6. 5 minus a negative 9, minus a minus becomes a plus. And that's 5 plus 9 is 14. This simplifies or reduces. So we could have 2 that goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 14 7 times. Our final answer is 3/7. Alright, our last example. If we have something like 9 minus 3 times the absolute value of 2 plus 7 times 2 to the third power, all multiplied by parentheses 3 minus 5, in parentheses, end absolute value, all minus 4. We have grouping symbols, and we have absolute value with parentheses inside. So we're going to do inner groupings first. So go in and tackle those inner groupings first. That's 3 minus 5. So we're renaming this as a negative 2 in parentheses. And yes, we're going to rewrite our whole expression around that renaming. If we're properly working our problems. Okay, we have absolute value with exponents inside. So we're going to tackle that exponent inside the absolute value so we know what we're working with and solve inside the absolute value. We're going to say 2 to the third power. 2 times 2 times 2, that's 8. So we're going to rewrite everything that we have not worked around working just that exponent. Okay, now we need to solve inside the absolute value. To solve inside the absolute value, we have a couple of things going on. We have a plus sign, a multiplication sign, and parentheses with an 8 outside the parentheses to work. So what we need to do is say we're going to have 8 times negative 2 is a negative 16, all times 7. It's all multiplication, so we can just work all of that across in almost any order according to the property. If we go left to right, it'll be the same as working the 8 times negative 2. So we have 8 times negative 2 is negative 16, and that's multiplied by the 7 right there. We can rewrite everything around just that part that we're thinking about. Okay, now 7 times negative 16. We can work that in the margin real quick. 6 times 7 is 42. Drop your 2, carry your 4. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 4 is 11, is negative. So we have a negative 112 to rename this part. Okay, so now we're going to rewrite everything we have not worked. Alright, we're still working inside absolute value. 2 plus negative 112. I'm going to rewrite that on the next slide so we can see it. Alright, 2 plus a negative 112 is 110 in the negative. And that's still got absolute value around it. So we have a 9 minus 3 times the absolute value of negative 110 minus 4, rewriting our expression. Alright, absolute value is the distance of the number from 0 on the number line. It's always answered in the positive. Negative 110 is 110 units from 0 on the number line. So the answer to the absolute value of negative 110 is 110. Rename it without the absolute value. We can put it in parentheses if we want now, because it's still multiplied by that 3 outside of the original absolute value sign. Okay, now we have multiplication. So 3 times 110 is going to be 330. And around it we have a 9 minus 4. Okay. And so we can say we're going to work left to right now because we have all subtraction. 9 minus 330, to rename that part, it's going to be a negative 321 minus 4. Okay, we can add the opposite here. We can change our negative sign to a positive and attach the negative right up against the 4. We're adding more negative, so it's going deeper into the negative side of the number line. Negative 321 plus a negative 4 is negative 325. Circle your final answer. I hope this helps, and I'll see you soon.